Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 19. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where once again it is time to have a look in the past week, see actually what has happened, what is up, what is down, how much profit has we made, what is about the drawdowns, is it going up or down. Good news is drawdown is coming down on all the EAs. It looks very nice. Profits, well, so and so. Let's see, some of them are doing well. Other ones are taking a bit of a breather. That's what this video here today is all about. And obviously, we also have a new video that we would like to share with you, how to ride the money wave in here. So this is now the third video in a series of grid trading, where we basically go over how we set it up, or how you can set it up. It's entirely up to you. But we are showing exactly some of the techniques that we have been using that takes care of a lot of the back testing that you would normally do. We have set all these things in place, and then we're going to show you exactly how you back test the rest. What are the results? How do you find some of the best settings? What is important? What's not so important? All of this, as usual, we will discuss in future videos, of course, for all the other EAs, but you can see the results here today. And we're also going to go through with Alex, Expert Forex. Obviously here again, he's promoting the copy link service. So this special club in here, where we have a lot of signals available to you and where you can actually make some very good money. We're using the exactly same settings, the same EAs, the same robots, with everything exactly as you have seen in some of our videos. And also the profits we're going to show you here today, everything is completely the same. So you can basically go in and copy all those deals. That is what it's all about. And obviously the copy link service, there is plenty of services in here, not only ours, but other traders too. We're going to show you exactly how well ours are doing. So we have some very high criteria for which ones that we would like for you to have a look at in here. So, and obviously we're going to go through all of it in this particular video. And also we have some good news. So for the Bitcoin users, Bitcoin is actually over 100,000 again now. That is very positive, of course, if you are holding Bitcoin. And it is not at the all-time high yet, but we're going to have a closer look at that too. So let's get into it. Let's see what the week looked like. So we pop by Yieldnodes first, since there's no new emails or anything else from Steve Aruitz. Straight into the website, go on the Coin reserves, and there's only a small little change here this week. If we again start off having a look at the PNY, we can see that there's one more masternode running, 285 last week, 286 this week. And also for the SAP coin in here, there's not many, only 3 extras. Other ones has a few more. You can see the 777 up here actually has 17, but then you go to the AZR and that only has 2. So that's a bit out of the ordinary in here from what I can see. But apart from that, all the coins are still there. Everything has been updated. There's a few like the Mobic in here that hasn't changed at all, still 124. We also have the Dash D. Same thing, 444. So yeah, it's not all of them that has been updated through time. So when we go for the SAP coin, nothing much is actually happening. This is last week, so the red circle in here, what was happening, and it looked like there was some buying going on. It didn't really change anything. Again, this is very low volume and basically just dotted all the way through here until Monday morning jumped up, but again, hasn't really changed anything in the coin price, what we are interested in at the moment. And the only thing we can enjoy basically on a positive note is the SAP coin has gone up by 4.8% for the past week, where we made about 5,152 SAP. You'll see quite a few of them. And also the rewards has actually changed. So in the beginning, there were about 115. Now they're down to 93.10. We can also see the month of April was not as good as March, and May again has a slow start. If it continues like this, I'm not even sure it's going to hit the numbers from April. But then again, compared to 2024, 4.8% per week is certainly good. We just need to get the value up, which is the same that we talk about here for the PNY with 6.9% for the week. making 7,315 PNY. That is obviously quite nice. But again, same here, the value is rock bottom, so that doesn't really change anything right now. Well, as I mentioned in the beginning of this particular video here, a rock bottom is not what you can call Bitcoin, because somebody blew a bit of life back into it. So last week we actually left it just around the 95,000. And since then it was trading sideways for another 24 hours or so. After that, it went on the move, and then it crashed through the glass ceiling of 100,000 and almost made 106,000 up here sort of shortly. So again, this was just done here Monday morning. So, but it has flattened out a bit. And if you don't know the top part, it's just short of 110,000. That is the highest Bitcoin has ever been to. So looking good, a lot of buying, as you can see in here, versus the red one below, which is the selling part. That's why obviously the pumping has been going on. We can also see some good numbers when it comes to the Wave Liberator EA here for week 19, the top 5 EAs in here. Again, a couple of US dollars in here with the Aussie USD at $75 or 7.5%. Definitely the leader in that one, so a very good week. Then you have the Great British Pounds USD with $28 or 2.8%, then followed by the US Japanese. Shortly after with $27, 2.7%. And then the Aussie Japanese, $26, 2.6%. And another one at $26, which is the Great British Pound, Swiss francs, and 2.6%. Overall, the Wave Liberator did $181, 3.6% for these top ones. And those are the ones, again, that you should have a closer look at. So if you want to actually get some of the best things out of this particular EA, we still have 22 EAs running. You can see the balance is now 266,000. Very low floating profit and loss, less than 8,000. So that is the lowest from the EAs we have, apart from the new simple grid trader in here. The rest is a bit higher. They have also going a lot longer, obviously. But our history is 629 days. We have trade wins of 68. So that is really good with about 14 trades per day. It has become very stable. As you can see, monthly returns continue to be 1.1 or 11%. If you translate that into $1,000 accounts, which is the one we are actually trading and the ones that you find on our website in here, all of the 22 EAs and currency pairs in here has been set up, so you can go and pick every one that you want in here. So let's have a look at the entire portfolio. How well did we do? 376, so that's up from last week's 331. However, it's not as good as the prior weeks in here, but 376. When you look back at it, it is still a very good and stable results. So we are very happy. This is about average as it can be. For the RSI Liberator for week 19, we do have a couple of nice top fives in here, but overall, you will see the portfolio didn't do so well. The Great British Pounds CAD also tops here with $42, 4.2%, followed by the other Great British Pounds USD with $21, 2.1%. So that is a bit below average already here. Aussie USD, $20 and 2%, and then Great British Pounds Japanese, $17, 1.7%, and another Japanese together with the Swiss francs in here, $16, 1.6%. So disappointing, very, very low, only $116 or 2.3% for the RSI for this particular week. Definitely not the best week at all. We can see that the floating profit and loss has also come down for this particular one in here after the last couple of weeks of turmoil. Balance 250,000, equity 238. You can see the profit we have is more than 28,000, so that's still very good, very stable. The monthly returns is a bit lower than what you actually have on the Wave Liberator. So we are about 9% when it comes to the $1,000 accounts. Trade wins also good with 66. And then we had trades per day is about 18. And now we have a history of 398 days. Very, very happy with this particular EA, even though it's producing slightly less. But that's, again, you have to diversify. You have to use different currency pairs. We have a lot of them already on here, not all of them. We will have to put them forward again here now that the market is calming down a bit. we'll give them forward to Expert Forex. Hopefully we can get some more added, so you have even bigger choices in here. And if we have a look at the entire portfolio, again, history 398 days, happy with that. But look here, $170 is all actually what we got in. Compared to the past weeks, that is nothing. But even a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had 142. And then when all the turmoil was actually going on, we cashed in more than 1,000 for 2 weeks in a row. So this is below the average. There's no doubt about it. We expect to be somewhere around $300 or $400. That would be the better place to be. Also for the Hedged EA, that one is normally always cashing in quite nicely, but because of we finally have the retracement, that also means that some of the profits that we got very early on as it cashed in all the way through, well, that is actually missing, and that's why we have the Euro Swiss francs at the top. 5 EA with only $37, 3.7%. Yes, a lot of people think it's still quite a bit, but New Zealand USD comes in at $22, 2.2%, with Aussie CAD only $16, 1.6%, and then Aussie USD $14, 1.4%, with New Zealand CAD in the top 5 with just $13, 1.3%. Obviously, it's still money in the bank. We're not really complaining, because we did $104, 2.1%. But then when you have a look at the entire portfolio over time, that is what you need to do. You can see that we had 16 accounts in here. At the moment, floating profit or loss, that actually rose quite a bit. So when we had these tariffs coming in place, so we only have closed profits of 9,700. But overall monthly profits, as you can see in a second here, is calculated for FX Blue at 16%, and that's because there's a couple of weeks back where we did extremely well. Weekly returns of around 4%, trade win still above 70%, and then we have trades per day is around 20. That went up with the big shift in here. History that we have is not so much, 112 days compared to some of the other EAs you have seen in here already. So we had a very good stable part all the way through. I believe it was around 12 or 13%, and then obviously it shot up in here. So during the trade war, when it was highest and then it was on, it was off, so on and so on. And now it's flattened out a bit again, because it now needs to have a bit of a recovery before it can actually cash in again. And that's also why we don't have any more of the copy link service on here at the moment. There's a few in there. We would like a few more, but we want to make sure that the drawdown is down and the profits are up. And once that is done, then obviously you'll see even more in here. So the disappointing number for the entire portfolio is $91. You can see even last week we started to suffer 116, but look at the cash in that it did almost 2,000 here end of March, and then beginning of April 2,400. So when we flatten this one out, you can see there's some times where it's 800, then it's 400. So this is quite normal for the Hedged EA, that you get these drops, 171, then it goes to 400, then it goes to almost 1,000. So this one is a bit more up and down, but when it is up, it's cashing in for quite a few weeks ahead. So you have to look at the bigger picture. It's not because of the setting is not working, it's simply because they are in a drawdown. And normally when it's in a drawdown, it opens, but it also cashes in at the same time. And then it has to wait for the recovery afterwards to make the big money once again. We have the new simple grid trader here also for week 19. That is also doing okay. Again, as I said, it's a bit of an average week here with the Great British Pounds USD. So it's doing quite well with $51 or 5.1%. You have the New Zealand USD at $37 or 3.7%, followed by the Swiss francs Japanese with $36, 3.6%, and cashing in at $34 is the US Swiss francs, 3.4%, followed by New Zealand Swiss francs, $26, 2.6%. So you can see that one is actually doing a bit better with $185 or 3.7%. So very, very good. And you can follow all of these individual signals in here. We started off with 16, now we're actually up to 20. So all you have to do is go to the High Tech Investment website and then click on the individual ones. That'll get you to the FX Blue, and you'll even see the portfolio similar to what I'm showing you right now. So the balance we started off with is $21,000 accounts. It's now up to 21,432. We have equity of more than 20,000 already, so that's very early on. You can see we only have 25 days for this particular EA in here. It was at about 1,000 last week, but as we added also more accounts, it's quite natural that the drawdown will also go up. That is the nature of this particular grid trading technique many times. We have monthly returns is calculated at 10.8, so that is a good part. The weekly returns is about 2.5%, and trade wins is extremely high with 79% overall. Trades per day is only 9, so it's not so many, but still cashing in quite nicely. And this is the numbers overall. You can see these are also down $169, but there's a reason particular for that, because there's a system within the Gen 3 where you are actually putting in both the open trades and the closed trades, and when it gets to a certain level, it closes all the trades and starts the grid all over again. This happened for quite a few of the EAs this particular week. So what looks like big profits, for example, from last week or even this week, when it cashes in, it looks like a minus in here, and then it closes off. But I will obviously in a future video explain a bit more about all this. So it makes sense. This is not for this particular video in here. This is simply just showing you the results. And the results of all our work has also been put into these particular videos here. I mentioned in the beginning, we have a new series. This was the first of the series, the Forex Grid Trading Explained. And then after that, we actually put in the gap and lot size hack, where you minimize the risk and you maximize the gains, trying to do this. Now we have gotten into a phase where we're going to look at the individual EAs, and this is right, the money wave that we have in here, showing you how things are being set up, how we do this, how we try to calculate, and also how we have to pick out the individual settings, which ones are the more stable ones over time. And all of these things, while you are watching the news report right now, you can see for the month of April, profit soared more than 50%. Very, very good month. So all of these things put together will hopefully also give you some good profits. Definitely, if you are trading the lucky trader for week 19, you are doing quite well. But also here, you'll see that at the bottom of the top 5, it is a bit on the weak side. The Euro Swiss francs is actually on top with $56, 5.6%. So that's quite nice. That will get you almost 20% for an entire month if that were to continue. Great British Pounds CAD is at $30, 3%, and then Great British Pounds USD, $22, 2.2%, and then another Aussie USD in here, $20, 2%, and then Aussie CAD at the bottom of the top 5, $17, 1.7%, and overall in here, Euro made $145, 2.9%, if you would have copied our trades on these particular currency pairs in here. And if we go and have a look, we can also see that we have done quite well on the portfolio overall. We have, again, 16 EAs in here. Maybe we should actually expand this a bit also to 20, because it is a very, very good EA. Floating profit and loss, that has also come down. You can see the close profit is actually higher. So that's good. That means that is printing money now. So going forward, and we have 21 trades per day. We have now a history of 190 days and a trade wins of almost 70%. So a very, very stable and cool EA. We really like it. Also because it's very simple to set up. And you can find more details, of course, also on the High Tech Investment website in here. Some of these are already on the coupling service, but because of the changes in the market, we didn't get too many on there. But most of them still have a low drawdown, so let's get them in the next month or so. Hopefully, we can see that the profit also here is up from last week, 192 compared to 116. But also here, we are expecting somewhere around $300 or $400 in order to be average. So hasn't done so well, but we have seen some indications already this morning that some of the things is actually doing extremely well already, so that is good to see. We also need to cover the bell trader in here for week 19, the top 5 EAs. you'll notice a massive profit for the Euro Great British Pounds, $183, 18.3%. So that is definitely very, very good numbers. Even the second one in row actually outperforms some of the other EAs. The Great British Pounds CAD did $65, 6.5%, and then the Euro Swiss francs also up there with $47, 4.7%, and then New Zealand Swiss francs $33, 3.3%, and New Zealand CAD $29, 2.9%. And overall, it would have been a very good month or a week for the bell trader in here. $357, 8.9%. That's almost as much as you can expect for an entire month for this particular EA. If we go and have a look at the portfolio in here, we have 16 at the moment, floating profit or loss. That's quite high. That actually went up during the trade war as it was on the top, but we have cashed in 7,600 so far. Monthly returns is actually up after the trade war here also, 9%. Weekly returns is around 2.5% maybe. And then trade wins around 70%, so that's good. Trades per day is around 9, and a history of around, what do we have, 4.5 months here now, 161 days. So it looks to be a good stable EA, but still we have some issues with it, and that's why we're also missing still quite a few on the copy link service. Some of them are doing extremely well, as you just seen. Other ones are basically lacking a bit behind. And if we have a look at the entire number, 364, when you compare that with what you had in the top 5, it's pretty much everything. So that means some of the other currency pairs is not working so well. But overall, still in the portfolio, it is cashing in quite nicely. We have made some changes over the weekend here also. For this particular one, we are trying something new, and we're going to explain that in one of our future videos. In between here, we have to go and have a look at Alex and Expert Forex's videos for this particular week. He has the club shares for the Forex Success. This is the copy link service we were discussing, where we have a lot of different EAs and copy links too. And basically everything you have seen in this video, well, we have some of the links in here for you. So definitely this is worth having a look at, both if you want to trade this yourself. That particular club shares a lot of details and information and also profits similar to what I am doing, or you can simply go in and use that particular one just for the copy link service. That is obviously entirely up to you what you want to get out of it at the end of the day. We have another interesting video here also. So, and this is apparently the new simple RSI trader in here, generation 2, where Alex shows in this particular video here that he has a $1,000 account that he takes to more than $500,000. And the entire video here, well, that's covered in 57 minutes, showing you what is actually to come. So it's going to be interesting once that particular EA is getting released. Hopefully we can get our hands on it and then also see if we can actually do the same trick or not. Obviously, there is some enlargement with equity along the way. But obviously we will make videos on that in the future, and I'm sure Alex will too. In the meantime, let's go and have a look and see some of the best copy link we have with Expert Forex. Again, as usual, we go in with the floating profit and loss. We don't want to have anything over minus 300, and you can look at the numbers. They are extremely low, minus 28, minus 42, the highest minus 141. So everything drawdown well under control. You can see gains this week also. What we also have a look at is return on total drawdown. We want to have at least 200%. That is not a problem for all of these. There's a couple of thousand in here, 600, 500, 700, 1400. So all of them are good. Total negative weeks in 8 weeks. We want to not have any more than 300. So again, look at the numbers. Very, very low numbers. And then at the end, we basically just line them up, high to low, gains in the last 8 weeks, going from about 11%, which is a bit on the low side. But when you put them in a portfolio, that's the way it has been done. 15, 18% goes up to 36, 40, 70, and even link 1K, 184C, has 107%, so everything is doing extremely well. You can also see the weeks over here where it has been linked. So that means also there's a lot of data and information for all the individual links. All you have to do is click the blue line over here and you'll get more details and information. So there you have it, plenty of profits, plenty of EAs doing quite well in here. We are definitely happy with what we have, and we obviously continue to optimize, to tweak, and also try to get it in the same window as the Forex market is in. There has been some big changes already, as you know, especially with the trade war, and now that seems to be coming down to a lower level in some way, shapes, and forms, especially when it comes into China. We'll have to see how that also affects the US dollar. At the moment, as of this video is being shot here, it certainly looks like there's going to be a bit of a retracement. We've seen that already on our trading this particular Monday morning. So obviously there will be more in the week to come. And we'll make the next video next week where you again can follow everything that has developed in the past week. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up and a like, and also a comment if you have anything you want to comment on, anything that you have some doubts on, or you can directly get a hold of us or by email. All of the different links will also be in the video description below. So I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Until then, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.